Alright, so anime menaces, right? When you hear that word, a whole host of characters come to mind. Some of the biggest household names are Dio, Kid Buu, Madara styling on a whole fucking army, Aizen being one of the biggest menaces anybody have seen. And then you have the most disrespectful man in anime, Yujiro Hanma. Do you know why Yujiro is considered a menace? Well, if you don't, I'm gonna tell you why, don't worry. First of all, this nigga's hands are rated E for every single thing under the sun. This nigga Yujiro does not care if you're a senior citizen, a child, woman, or man. He doesn't care. He will run the ones with you. Not even animals are safe from catching the fade. But number 2 is one of the most disturbing reasons why Yujiro is a fucking menace. Did you know that Yujiro Hanma has so much testosterone in his brain, right? That everything around him appear as female. Alright, so this manly ass dude, right? He's talking to somebody and he's like, bro, I do all this manly stuff like fucking climbing mountains and shit just so I can feel like a man. And do you know why? That's because Yujiro randomly found this nigga, right? And with zero prejudice, he takes this nigga's booty hole. You heard me right, bro. This nigga violated this man and just walks off into the sun like he was the coolest nigga around. Oh God, bro. Yujiro is seriously something else when it comes to menace. But all these menaces that I've named are all grown. Well, except for Kid Buu. Actually, he's like thousands of years old, so. But the menaces we're gonna be looking at today are all young kids. Today, I have 3 children to show you guys that are absolute fucking menaces in their anime. They have no reason being this fucking cold. But hey, logic be damned, these niggas are gonna act like fucking maniac. The first person I'm gonna be talking about is from a show that I highly recommend you guys go watch. And it's called Medaka Box. Medaka Box is home to 2 of the most broken anime characters you can think of. One of them is called Misogi Kumagawa. If you don't know who that guy is, go look him up. The other one is Ajimu Najimi. This bitch has 4 quadrillion different abilities. Now, if that's not fucking broken, I don't know what is. Anywho, do you want to know how old this little menace we're gonna be looking at is? This nigga is 10 years old, and he's a fucking junior in high school. Yeah, bruh, I don't know how, but this nigga's 10 years old in high school. Now, in our world, there is a very popular debate on whether it is the nature of people to, do bad things, or is it nurture that develops, how a person thinks and what they do. Unzen thinks that everybody's just bad. The moment that you're born, you're evil. And the only way to discipline people is through violence. And boy, does this nigga love violence. Like, bro, look at his face. Fun fact, this nigga's sister is so abnormal that she doesn't even speak Japanese. She speaks in mathematical equations. Literally numbers. She speaks in numbers. And only Medaka and her brother understand her. Like, bro, Medaka Box has so many weird ass characters. How the fuck do you wake up and decide to speak in binary? But we're not talking about that today. So we're just gonna move on to Unzen and how he's a menace to society. Now, this conflict started with Medaka and her wardrobe. Because you see, Unzen is the chairman of the Public Morals Committee. And this girl right here is one of the members. And she goes around arresting anybody who wears the wrong dress code. And so she gets into a squabble with Medaka, who has the worst dress code out of them all, she said. Because her uniform shows her cleavage a lot. And so she's like, hey bro, you're the student council president, bro. You should be setting an example for everybody else. You should be covering your titties. But Medaka, who's a literal Mary Sue, is like, nah bro, I'm not ashamed of my body. I don't care what you say. Actually, I'm considering making this the standard uniform for all girls. And so this girl gets mad and decides to go tell the chairman, which is Unzen. Now, this nigga was sent to resolve a problem with the school orchestra club. Because all the other clubs, for some stupid reason, decided, they're making too much noise and they can't concentrate. So this nigga Unzen shows up and says this.
Listen up, you losers. Turn to your neighbor, say hi, and then kill him.
Ho, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip, huh?
No, that isn't it. Wait a minute, that's not what I meant to say. God, I hate public speaking. Why can't I just send an email?
Now, before I continue, a lot of you were in my comments talking about some, ew, JP, you watch your anime dubbed? It's so embarrassing. Listen, bro, I couldn't care less if the anime was dubbed or subbed. I watch whichever is comfortable at the moment and is funnier. If I can't make breakfast and have the anime playing, and still understand what the fuck is going on, I'm not gonna watch it. Why would I watch sub? When I'm not doing anything, I don't mind watching anime sub. But if I'm doing something like, and I'm busy and I also wanna watch anime, I'll watch it dubbed, because then I'll understand. Now please stop commenting on why I fucking watch anime dubbed. In any case, bro, this nigga Unzen came and told them to look at the neighbor, say hello, and kill him. But this nigga was like, wait, no, that's wrong, hold on, I'm bad at public speaking. So he decided to get to the point. He'd be like, bro, you guys are making too much noise and I come here to discipline you guys. And the leader of the club says this.
Kid, what's he gonna do to us? I'll use my golden tongue. Like I always do to persuade.
What did he say?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Pause! You're gonna use your golden tongue for what, nigga? This is what I mean when I watch anime dubbed. It's funnier and I can make the joke. But anyway, this nigga tried to sweet talk Unzen and touches his shoulder. This nigga Unzen literally look at this man and breaks his fucking hand and was like, hey nigga, I didn't tell you to touch me and you niggas were dead the moment I showed up here. And then we see the aftermath of his punishment. This nigga destroyed the whole fucking room. He had blood on his face, bro, what? And it isn't until later we realize what this nigga did. You see, Unzen is an abnormal. First of all, he's 10 years old in high school. Second of all, this nigga is strong as fuck. And his weapon of choice are these super bouncy balls. And when thrown with the amount of strength this nigga has, it's devastating. And that's exactly what he did to the band room. He just put them shits out and started a massacre. So yeah, this little gremlin does not believe in a peaceful resolution, bro. Like, bro, he said he's gonna resolve this violently, and he enjoys it. So yeah, if this doesn't get you guys to go watch Madaka Box, I don't know what will. Anywho, the next menace we're gonna be looking at is none other than everyone's favorite Zoldyck, Killua. Now, I knew Killua was a menace the moment he told Gon that he was from a family of assassins and has killed people before. But there is one single scene that cemented how much of a menace this nigga Killua is. Now, the first big arc of the anime is the Hunter exam. And the second part of the Hunter exams had these niggas team up, you know, to solve the problem and get down a fucking tower. And they get to a point where there's a bridge, and on the other side of the bridge, there are 4 death row inmates that will get their sentence severely reduced if they manage to, you know, stop these niggas from advancing. But they're on a timer. First nigga tried to bamboozle Gon with some candles, but Gon, being the little demon he is, he fucks up his plan and made him lose. And then we had this Blue Man Group reject over here, out here looking like the Incredible Bulk. Had a little bit of chance, but you know, he decided to brag and show Kurapika that he had a Phantom Troop tattoo. And Kurapika, being a menace himself, right? If you know, you know, became extremely triggered and fucked this nigga up. Next was Leorio's turn. And Leorio fucked everything up because he was horny and lost in a rock, paper, scissors, which lost him a whole lot of time to get out of the tower. But next was Killua's turn. And they showed this prisoner coming out, right? To give him a little scared, this nigga jams his hand through the wall and started just scraping that shit to show how strong he is. And then they introduced this nigga as the worst mass murderer in the country. Killua pulls up and is like, all right, bro, so how we gonna do this? And this nigga's just smiling like everything is rainbows and pussy farts. But this nigga's like, do this. Nigga, I'm just here for some booty. I don't care about the exam. I don't care about reducing my sentence. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm leaving here with something. And then he says this.
All I want is to hear you scream.
Like, pause, bro. Like, that's what you say to a kid? But Killua, being a little demon, he's like, oh, really? Well, fine by me. We're just gonna keep fighting until one of us die. And Jones responds, oh, okay, a battle to the death. And he menacingly says, soon I'll tear your booty apart. Alright, bro, personally, if that was me and I heard some serial killer tell me he's gonna tear my booty apart, bro, I would have been out of there. Like, bro, I would have jumped off the platform. Oh my God, these niggas are back to mowing the lawn again. Why do they do this every time I'm recording? Oh my God. And it got louder. Why is he getting closer? Nigga, if you guys could see the face I'm making right now. Anywho, the nigga's standing there with his hands stretched out trying to be menacing, and Killua attacks. We look at everybody else's reaction and we're like, oh my God, something crazy just happened. Killua finishes little walk and we pan to the prisoner in the same stance, but something's different. There's a hole in this nigga's chest and we hear heartbeats. He turns around and is like, hey, what the fuck happened? And he's wondering why he's so cold. And then Killua reveals a little pouch in his hands. And that shit is beating. It's beating with the fucking heartbeat. The prisoner turns around and is like, give that back. It belongs to me. He falls to the floor with his hands out. And Killua, cold as ice, just puts it back in his hand like, all right, whatever, nigga, here, you can have that shit back. Everybody is just flabbergasted. All right, a little intermission before I get to the next person. I've gotten a couple of comments mentioning how much I say the word flabbergasted, right? So I got a little challenge for y'all. Whoever can go through all my videos, you don't have to watch the shorts, but if you go through all my videos and tell me the exact amount of times I've said the word flabbergasted, the first person to text me that on my Instagram, the exact number, I've counted myself, the exact number, I'll give you $20. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, whatever you decide. In the second and third place, if you're a content creator, I'll give you a shout out, however much that might help you. But yeah, Killua is a menace among menaces. This nigga places this dude's heart back in his hands after ripping it from his chest. Like, bro, how cold can you be to do that to someone? The next menace we're gonna be looking at is Kid Sasuke. Now, at the beginning of the Chunin exams, a lot of shit happened. Orochimaru showed up being creepy as fuck and gave Sasuke a hickey that put him out of commission. And one of Orochimaru's snakes ate Naruto. So it was just useless Sakura trying to defend Sasuke's body. The Sound Ninjas came and started fucking everybody's shit up. Team 10 showed up and there was not much they could do, even though they did a bit of damage. Now, after they finished taking their L, the menace that is known as Sasuke with the curse mark woke up. And everybody was shook at this nigga's chakra. And then this nigga's like, hey bro, Sakura, who did this to you? Like he actually cares. And Sakura, looking as beautiful as ever, is still shocked and can't say shit. So Sasuke asks again, he's like, bro, who the fuck did this? And here she goes, sausage, what's happening? So Sasuke asks again, like, bro, nigga, just tell me who the fuck did this to you? And one of the Sound Ninjas pipes up and he's like, hey nigga, I'm the one who did it, what's good? As Sasuke's curse mark keep growing and he's looking angrier and angrier, the other Sound Ninja starts getting scared. But the other one is like, man, this nigga's not gonna do shit. And then he's like, I'm just gonna use an attack to get rid of all these niggas at once. And this nigga proceeds to fart on everyone to get rid of them. After he finishes his attack and sees the damage, he's like, look at that, I got rid of all you niggas. But joke's on him, Sasuke actually got everybody out of the way. And this nigga is flabbergasted like, hey yo, how the fuck did he move that fast to get everyone out of the way of my attack? And then Sasuke teleports behind this man and hit him with the meanest backhand the kid has ever done to somebody. Sent that nigga flying 3 states over. The other ninja's like, oh, Zaku! I guess that's his name, by the way. While he's still on the floor, Sasuke uses a fire style jutsu. But the dude farted some more and blew the fire away, but they were just disguised shurikens, and he got. While this nigga's still shocked and reeling from the attack, Sasuke pulls up behind him and grabs his arm. And this nigga Sasuke has the most devious grin on his face. And Sasuke's like, hey, you ever taken back shots before? And Zaku's like, no, he's a booty warrior. What are you gonna do? While he's holding him, Sakura starts seeing images of Orochimaru creepy ass. So who knows what random shit Sasuke's about to do to this nigga. But they finally show you what Sasuke's about to do. He proceeds to break this nigga's arm. Bro, this man was on the floor screaming and everybody was shocked. They didn't think that Sasuke was a booty warrior, 1. And 2, they didn't know he had it in him to break a nigga's arms like that. But Sasuke turns around to look at the other ninja and is like, it looks like you're the only one left. And that nigga's shaking in fear because, hey, he don't know what's gonna happen to him. And then Sasuke continues, I hope your booty hole's tighter than your friend. And starts walking towards him. And this nigga's getting scared to death. He's like, oh no, this nigga's coming for my ass. Sakura's making a face of pure horror because, hey bro, Sasuke's really heading towards that nigga right now on his booty warrior type beat. But as he's walking, Sakura screams no and goes to stop him from taking this nigga's ass. And she hugs him. Sasuke looks around at Rock Lee and Team 10 who got their ass handed to them and decided to spare this nigga's booty for another day. Anime is just full of some of the most diabolical people to ever exist. From people like Toji, who has 0 problems headshotting a kid, to maniacs like Frieza destroying entire planets, and civilization. Last time we covered
Listen up,
Unzen.
you losers. Turn to your neighbor, say hi, and then kill him.
Oh, ho, brother, ho, whoa, 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 now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Killua, and Kid Sasuke, booty hole's tighter than your friend. Oh my god! Who were in their team. Today we've somehow managed to go younger, from 10 years old to 1 month! Bruh, you cannot make this up, bruh. The first person we're gonna be starting with is none other than,
アノス・ボルディゴードだ。
yes, the Demon King of Riz himself. One thing I feel like a lot of people don't bring up is that this man was 1 month old during the first season. He was born and immediately started yapping. First act of savagery is not letting his parents name him. Like, bro, he didn't even give them a chance. But they're loving parents nonetheless. And the next thing this man decided to do was torture another student with his heartbeat. Bro, you cannot make this up. At first, this man pulled up to him talking trash because he has loving parents. And I guess his parents don't pay attention to him. So Anos huffs and puffs and sigh away his little flame. Also humiliated him by telling him to shut up. And he listened. Anywho, he decided he was not gonna take this L lying down and came back for round 2 during a tournament arc. He ended up getting his hands on some level 99 armor and a cool sword. Yeah! Anos blew out the fire again. And he's like, I'm not going to move from this spot and we'll beat your ass. Eat my ass? Anywho, our favorite background character decided to start talking shit and quickly finds out. He starts doing damage with his heartbeat.
戦争の鼓動だ。
I don't got no heart. I'm a menace, bitch, you knew this from the start. Yeah, pussy nigga, pull up, get his top. You cannot make this up. Well, somebody did. Anywho, to be more disrespectful, Anos proceeds to torture this man in front of an entire crowd. He kills this man and resurrects him over and over until he made him give up. Now, you think this act of buffoonery would stop here, right? Nah, my boy, you are sorely mistaken. Because his brother came for revenge and probably got clapped. Anos resurrected his dead brother to fight him. And let me point out, he is literally 1 month old while he's doing this. Another crazy act this menace did was when they put him in a fight with old girl and he spin their fucking castle like a basketball and proceeds to toss that shit like he was Patrick Mahomes. And this all comes to a head when this racist teacher decided to hurt his mom. So yeah, this teacher's been a biatch since the beginning, bro. Because they think Anos is a muggle or not a pure demon or whatever. And so she catches his mom lacking while she was out with the groupies. And yes, Anos has groupies. Anywho, she came to steal this man's sword. And the mom was not letting it go. So she just started firing shots because they're hybrids. And she's racist. She proceeds to start frying the groupies. Like, bro, she was cooking them. Just because the mom, who was based, wasn't handing the sword over. But anywho, she hurts his mom and was about to knock her ass off the census. But then he showed up. And what he did to her was straight up diabolical. And he's like, oh, so you want to squabble with the big boys. Shut up. He heals his mom and takes her ass to the ring.
Welcome to the Gulag.
And man started cooking immediately. He's like, hey, you gonna learn my name, Nyaka? You don't remember my name? You're the demon king of tyranny, Anos Voldigo. That's what I thought, Nyaka. So he proceeds to kill her and then bring her back as a hybrid. Like, bro, that is the worst possible thing you could do to a racist. Like, it's like Ruckus finding out he's black. Anywho, to say she wasn't happy is an understatement. But moving on, we will be looking at none other than Chimera Ant King Meruem. By the way, this creature was like 40 days old when he did everything he did. Like, bro, he took over an entire fucking country at 40 days old. And that's not even the worst thing he's done. Mans was eating humans left and right. Like, that shit was a delicacy. Especially the niggas with Nen. But before we get to that part, he had to be born, right? And just like that menace Yujiro, he didn't wait to be born.
Hey, yo, let me out of this thing, bro. I'm ready to be born, bro. Let me out.
The Ant Queen is telling this man, hey, bro, it's not time, dude. You still have a little bit left. But Meruem wasn't having any of that bullshit. So he took it upon himself and just burst it out. Like, bro, what kind of menace do you have to be to just do that? That action also killed the queen, by the way. So that was his first act as a fucking menace. And when the Dr. Penguin tried to help her, he murked him. Like, bro, this man came out of the womb with straight Black Air Force activity. Within 1 minute of coming out of the womb, Meruem caught 3 bodies. Because after he killed the penguin, his tail was dirty. And he's like, hey, you, clean my tail. This man is still having trauma from seeing his mother burst like a fucking piñata. And so he's hesitating. The old turtle guy who's trying to take some initiative is like, oh, I have a handkerchief right here, sonny. And this man murks him. He's like, I didn't ask you to clean it. I requested him. Like, bro, he had literally no reason to do this. Within 1 minute of you being born, you just took 3 bodies for no reason. And the most egregious act this man has done, him and his 3 lackeys drops into a farm, murks the 2 parents in front of the kid. He eats them and say they're disgusting. After Pito's diabolical ass advise him to not cut off their heads first because the brain matter tastes good, he proceeds to impale this child. And look at Pito ass. They're excited and praising this dude. Anywho, he eats the kid and all he has to say is,
I mean, it's all right. Like, overrated as fuck.
The niggas with Nen taste better is what he says. And then here go Pito head ass.
Hey, sire, may I offer you more advice? There is a way to identify the special human.
And he bitch slaps him. Like, bro, this man has been wearing his Black Air Forces since he was born. He's like, hey, bitch, don't you insult me like that. I know what they look like. Acting like I'm not smart enough to figure that shit out. Man, tighten up. So yeah, King Meruem was a menace since the day he was born. Well, chose to come out. The next menace we're going to be looking at needs no introduction because everyone loves the reformed menace Gara. From the jump, this man Gara had that aura about him. Like he was just better than everybody else. Pulling up and calling Konkuro trash and just insulting everybody else just based on how good he is at controlling his chakra. This man went through the tuning exams and murked like 4 different ninjas, crippled Lee, and went on a rampage as Shukaku. Like, bro, this little menace has been killing people since he was a child. This random ass drunk guy saw him on the street and accidentally bumped into him. And I'm glad to say he stopped drinking after that day. he also stopped breathing, but that's neither here nor there. We move on to the second stage of the tuning exams, where he kills like 3 ninjas for looking at him the wrong way. That Rain ninja tried to fight back, but it didn't go so well. We see Gaara's use of the sand coffin for the first time ever. And bro, he grabbed one of the umbrellas this dude was using to cover himself from the blood. And no, I will not fail to mention how Tamari and Kankuro just be meat riding this nigga. During the entire tuning exams, bro, they were glazing this man to all hell. Anywho, the other 2 ninjas that were left started begging for their lives after what they just witnessed. And Gaara, giving 0 fucks, used the same moves on him and killed both of them. Later on in the exams, 2 more ninjas decided to confront him. Like, bro, look at these grown-ass niggas. Where did y'all come from? Anywho, it went as well as anybody else would expect, because they're dead. Look at this horror movie shit this man is pulling right here. The next goober to confront this demon child was Dosu, in the middle of the fucking night. Like, bro, maybe I should have added him to this video, because what kind of a diabolical ass nigga you gotta be to pull up in the middle of the night, hoping this kid is sleeping so you could kill him? Anywho, he chose to fight Gaara, and Gaara, being the ultimate crash out, transforms into Shukaku, scares this man half to death, and took him off the senses. This menace went on to cripple Rock Lee and then completely crashed out against Sasuke. But I'm saving those fights for another video, so you guys gotta wait. Gaara truly is the ultimate crash out. But moving from that, we will encounter pure evil. This is Tanya Von de Gurusha, the essence of pure evil. He was a salaryman, but after firing somebody, that same person pushed his ass into an oncoming train, and then God pulled up. Because this man has 0 faith. When God pulled up and tried to get him on board, he completely denounced him. And God was like, I bet, watch this.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
And so we bring you here, where Tanya is reincarnated as a poor little girl. But this little girl holds the title of a menace among menaces. After reincarnating, this demon child made it her mission to find and kill God, aka being X, which is what she refers to him as. We're gonna be looking at 2 of the most heinous actions this little demon has done. First is sending Kirst and Harold to their deaths just because they disobeyed her order. Tanya established very early on that if you disobey her orders twice, she won't hesitate to put a bullet through your head. So they're in this battle and they're supposed to be holding off the enemy. But Kerr's hot-headed ass decided it would be a great idea to take out the artillery against Tanya's orders. Afterwards, Tanya talks to them and she's like, alright, you niggas are going home. And they're confused as to why. She's like, the army has no place for idiots who don't follow orders. Kirst is like, man, what the fuck? I volunteered for the front lines, bro. I'm here to fight or die. Tanya's like, oh, so that means you're going to disobey my orders again. Well, how about I give you that death you're looking for right now? She was stopped from killing them. Don't think you niggas escaped my wrath. Later on, she sends their ass to the rear to sit in a fucking pillbox. And a bit later, the first lieutenant hears about Kirsten Harold. And so she goes to report it to Tanya. She's like, so yeah, Kirsten Harold, they're dead, I know. She's like, what? How did you know? And she's like, yeah, you know, man, what a quinky dink. A pillbox does not move. An ideal target for artillery fire. The first lieutenant is like, nah, you did not. A perfect place for niggas who wanted to die. Bro, she really sent these niggas to the rear to die just because they disobeyed her. Mind you, she is around 9 or 10 years old at this point. And this little menace is willing to send niggas to their deaths. Moving on, a 9-year-old, Tanya, has a run-in with Anson Su and his unit. And in a 10v1, she took out 4 of his men by literally blowing herself up, hoping to get this shit over with anyways. She survived, won a medal, and they promoted her ass to the front line. The opposite of what she wants. She meets Anson on the battlefield again. They have a quick battle, and Anson gets got after yelling on about his homeland. And after sending this nigga to his death, Tanya takes his rifle for herself as an early Christmas present. By the way, that rifle was a personal gift from Mary Sue, Anson's daughter. Later on, they meet on the battlefield again for a 3rd time. And this nigga was cracking up the sky with a fucking shotgun. Like, bro, this man had premium firepower. But she catches him lacking and stabs him. But that nigga grabs her hand and is like, remember me, bitch? And she's like, oh, hell no, it's this nigga being X. So he starts the process of blowing himself up. And Tanya's like, ah, man, fuck this shit. But luckily, she was saved by the first lieutenant and using his own gun. She empties the entire fucking mag on him. And that was the end of Anson Su. Which leads us to Mary Sue. Mary wants revenge for her daddy, so she joins the army. And this bitch is crack!
What the heck?
Bro, look at this shit. Nobody else is doing this. They're like, ain't no way, bro. She must have emptied her entire magic reserves doing that attack. But no. She kept spamming that shit. She literally had the power of God in anime on her side. Anywho, she meets Tanya for the first time on the battlefield and sees Tanya out of ammo. So she goes to kill that bitch. But Tanya threw the mag at her face and then gut checks her with the gun. As she's being hit, Tanya's thinking, oh, a young girl. Well, I guess that goes for the both of us. But Mary Sue, on the other hand, she notices the engraving on the gun and she's like, oh, hell no. As she's falling, her power goes into overdrive. Most likely the work of being X. Tanya, noticing this, empties the clip on her. But she survived. And now she's on Tanya's ass with a burning vengeance. She's angry and babbling at Tanya, but she don't know what the fuck is going on. Anywho, this bitch Mary Sue is way too fucking broken, cause she's just casually firing Kamehamehas at Tanya, and her magic does not seem to be running out. After a building fell, blowing up a bunch of dust, Tanya prepares to literally fire a fucking nuke at this bitch. Point blank, my nigga. Oh my god. There is no reason anybody should be able to do this much damage. Anywho, Tanya lands in front of the blazing inferno she caused, and oh my goodness. I don't got no heart. I'm a menace, bitch, you knew this from the start. Yeah, pussy nigga. Mary Sue is walking out of the fire, still alive! At this point, Tanya's flabbergasted. She hit Tanya so hard she went flying. And after knocking Tanya down, she gets on top of her and starts beating the daylights out of Tanya, bruv. After finishing, she drags Tanya by the statue and starts praying. And that's when she made the mistake of turning her back to her opponent. She gets hit with a knife, and as she turns around to confront Tanya, she unloads an entire clip into her. And when Tanya was about to get the final shot, Mary Sue got saved by her friend. Like, bruh, Tanya is not to be messed with. Tanya has been a little menace since she was a child, sending people to their deaths and traumatizing other children. Anywho, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.